What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. This is going to be a 90-day review of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4. This has been my go-to phone. It's been my main phone for the longevity, since the duration, since the inception, since the birth of this phone, since it was released in late August. It's been my daily phone for everything, for pretty much, you know? And I haven't really switched off this phone, and I can give you an honest to God's good college try review of this because it's been my main phone. I haven't really switched off it. So without further ado, let's jump into this video. So I've done a video comparing this to the Z Fold 3, and I have to admit, is still at this point, you know, it's months later, I still would say, you know, if you have the Z Fold 3, it's probably not a lot to jump to for the Z Fold 4. I'd probably say just stick with the Z Fold 3, and I still pretty much feel that way overall. This phone didn't bring a lot of changes to it that would make you like, wow, it's so different compared to the last generation. Even the Z Fold 2, you know, if you need water resistance or you need S Pen support, then okay, I can see you maybe jumping from the Z Fold 2, but otherwise, stick with your Z Fold 2 probably too. But other than upgrading to this phone, how do I feel about the phone overall in general? Well, battery life is still not that great, at least for me. I know some people out there will be, you know, really good battery life or really bad just like me. So for me, I'm basically having to charge this definitely 2 times a day. I wake up in the morning by, you know, mid-afternoon or so, you know, between 12 and 3 p.m., somewhere in that range, I have to charge it back up. And then, you know, by the time it's night, I would definitely have to charge up again, which I'm charging it already. So there goes the 2 times that I need to charge it. I don't use light mode unless I'm going somewhere and I don't really care about having, you know, the best performance, but I don't use light mode on this. I also don't go into battery saving options. I don't milk the phone down, beat the phone down so it's in some denial of how great it is or how great the performance is so that it performs better in battery life. I don't do any of that. I just want to use the phone. So for me, battery life is really not that great. It's just okay. But charging, you can charge at 25 watts on here. It charges fairly fast at that. So within, you know, 45 minutes to an hour, I'm pretty much fully charged. It is really hard to go from this phone back to a candy bar phone. It still is really difficult because I'll be using this phone and then say like I'll just grab somebody else's phone, like that's at one of these events I've been to recently, and like I look at the phone, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know, I don't want to watch a video on your phone. It's too small for me. I just love consuming media on this device, social media, video media, scrolling through my music playlists, anything that I would want a big screen with, surfing the web, gaming, any of that stuff, which I don't do a lot of gaming. But it's just so fantastic on these big displays, so it's hard to really, still to this day, switch from this phone to a candy bar phone. Cameras are also upgraded on the phone. I do like the 30x zoom. Comes in kind of handy, you know, especially when I want to take a picture of my kid and he's kind of far away and I'll, you know, come in 30x and it takes a fairly decent photo, especially in good lighting. And then also the quality of the photos overall, especially towards the end of the Z Fold 3. I don't notice a huge difference between the Z Fold 3 and Z Fold 4 in terms of camera quality. There's a little bit. The Z Fold 4 is better, but not as big a difference as I had wanted. But I do appreciate that these cameras are fairly good and I can get away with using these and be pretty confident. It's still not my go-to camera. The Pixel 7 Pro is. When I want to go somewhere and take some good quality photos, I'm going to my Pixel, but still really good quality photos and videos from the Galaxy Z Fold 4. Also, I have to say it's time they get rid of this under display camera. It's so bad. It's not even good. It takes really, really bad photos, really bad videos. It's okay for video calls, but other than that, get rid of it. Do something. Either come out with something that's much better or put the camera, if you can, back up in the bezel or something. I don't know, but or let me see the dot again on the screen. I don't care, but it's just so bad. It's unusable. It's high time Samsung gets rid of it. Samsung's been pretty good, especially lately, about pushing updates out. I am on One UI 5, even though it doesn't have a whole lot of changes and differences with it. It's still a good update for Samsung. Samsung's been pushing out monthly updates now. It took them a while to get some updates out, but now they're starting to get the updates out on a pretty good schedule at this point, and performance is pretty good as well. there's not any lag or anything like that. It's definitely not the smoothest experience of a phone, but it's definitely up there in terms of performance. I'm still pretty happy with using this on a day-to-day basis. Plus you have all the good lock features and everything else that you would expect from a Samsung, their own Galaxy App Store that has apps in there that you can download and update, the Google Play Store, and it's just so much to do with these phones. So software is still a big plus for this phone. And then everything else is pretty good as well. I've done comparisons and videos on the speakers and everything else about this phone. So it's a good phone. It's not so exciting for me though this year. Like the Z Fold 2 really blew me away. Z Fold 3 not so much, but a little bit. Z Fold 4 maybe even less per se, but these phones, I love folding phones. They're definitely my favorite phones, but they're just not anything terribly exciting about it this year versus last 2 years ago when I first got it. It's a fairly similar phone at that, but if you're looking for a folding phone at the time of making this video, this is the phone to get. Pixel Fold will be out very soon, and then there'll be some Chinese competitors that are updating their latest ones, and those will be out soon as well. So there is competition in this field, but still, it's still my favorite phone currently to have, even though I might have said some things that aren't so glaringly pleasing about the phone. It's still my favorite phone to use, and it's my go-to phone still to this day. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the Galaxy Z Fold 4, and we'll see you down the road. Peace.